I was 13 when we first met, and since that moment, I've always kind of liked you. Whether it's limited preparation to interpretation or public addressing you in a debate, I will never forget our relationship and how it began. A love poem to forensics. No, not the kind of forensics that involves crime scene investigation. Forensics is also known as the activity that we commonly refer to as speech and debate. Austin Dean Ashford competed in forensics in his time in high school and college. Upon his graduation, he wrote this tribute to the activity he loved so much. 12 Summers Ago, by Austin Dean Ashford. Forensics in Latin, your name means seek the truth, and some website you don't care about defines you as the art of making effective speeches before audiences. And I only said that because you like definitions, but nothing can define your fine self. You're a complicated lover. Oh, like a sweet and sour patch, that's a fact. Stats prove that one would rather die than speak. But you molded me and you sculpted me into a warrior of rhetoric, my love. I will love you until my death. You taught me to express. You showed me my worth. You showed me how to put on my first suit and how to tie my first tie. You said that I am a speaker, so I have to look like it. 12 summers ago, we first started dating, and baby, you taught me memorization of literature, postures, voices, and characters. Don't get me wrong sometimes, though, like the first time I went up to a tournament and I was sweating. These kids were professionals and all that extra work you require. You wanted to research during the week and practice all day and all night. But you did teach me how to express. You taught me to seek the truth. The truth, my truth, the truth is. It took me till now to realize that you were the first time I felt like I belonged with someone. You loved me. And that is why I love you, forensics. But sometimes you lie to me. But you would never lie about that. And that is why I love you, forensics. You advocate for me being at my best. That piece is too long. You need to cut it. Cut it. Cut it again. Do you think that's gonna final? Cut it. Practice with focus. Cut it. There are books to read, sessions to have, and rounds to make. Cut it! You taught me what it means to break! And to be broken. And that is why I will never break up with you. You will be with me eternally. Like teammates, like coaches, like lessons, like rounds. And that moment, our postings. We have had a beautiful relationship, forensics. And no matter what happens now, I will always remember what we have been through. And that is why I will never break up with you. Another forensics competitor, Heidi Artigue, shared this same love for speech and debate. However, upon her graduation, she left this activity with regrets. Regrets that she shares in her poem, Farewell Address, by Heidi Artigue. For once, I'd like to say something that matters. Forensics is beautiful and the people unique, but this culture is dying and we need to save it. In 4 years of debate, I never learned deeply. Just what I needed to skate through a round. I can tell you statistics, but not why they're important. Because debate teaches you that surface knowledge is all that matters. Not that knowledge is power, but fake it till you make it. But a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, and when we learn only enough to get by, we become unable to empathize with those on the other side of the aisle. And true debate is stifled. But it's not just debate. Speech has its own issues. I'm no good at humor, but I know what I've seen. A contest of screaming, funny faces, and voices. Not a desire for stories or meaning. And drama the same, 10 minutes of misery. And what do we all really get out of interp? A laughter at farces or compassion fatigue. In 4 years of oratory, I never broached a real issue, because it was easy to talk about failure or quitting, and every speech I saw was the same. The voice, the face, the gestures which I used to win. They weren't mine. They weren't real because nobody's were. We were taught not to open up our hearts to others, but to pick up some buzzwords, tell a heart-wrenching story, and wrap it all up in a neat little bow. And, of course, the big issue. Sexism. I wish I could count the number of times that coaches told me to find a male debate partner, that I was throwing away my career by competing with a woman, and the constant refrains that I heard for so long. You're catty, you're bossy, don't be so pushy. And when I went to the Tournament of Champions and 5% of debaters were women, the issue to me was plain and clear, because we are not 5% of the population. But these are issues that we don't talk about, because if you're no good, then no one will listen. But if you are, it's hard to give up glory for truth. I said these things in the hallways every round of my life, but then shut them off when I walked in so I could keep winning. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I cared about trophies and winning instead of the people I loved. I'm sorry I said you shouldn't have won because your skirt was too short. I'm sorry I used genocide just to get some shock value. And I'm sorry I gave speeches that never really mattered. So, please, to the people with time left in forensics, please think about what you're doing here. Stop speaking. Start talking. And make it better. Thank you.